go ahead and hit the airplane down at the bottom of your screen. Yes, I know I'm crooked, so that way so you can see a full view. Hit the arrow at the bottom of your screen so you can share it. I'm going to start sharing it on my other one. Great. You going to watch me? I got my man behind the scenes. He's doing his own thing right now, but he's going to watch on his phone as I do this. But I'm going to share with other people because today we're going to do another baking with me moment, which I'm titling that because I tell you guys all the time I am not a baker. If you want legit baking, you know, tips and tricks, talk to somebody else. But what I can do is I can fake it. And I can make stuff look really good. And everybody's always asking me questions on how do I doctor up my box mix and how do I create, look at this hair. What is this hair doing? And how I create some of the flavors I make. So today I thought we can do something where I'm going to doctor up a box mix and actually make something new and something old at the same time. And I'm going to combine the two and we're going to see if it works. We're going to see if it works. So I am inviting all my friends and loved ones to come in as I could possibly screw up what I'm doing today. So please go ahead and hit the, oh, hey, turn the heat off and open the door. It's hot. So go ahead and hit the airplane button at the bottom of the screen to invite all of your baking friends so that maybe, or not even, just family and friend members or whatever, so they can kind of get these tips that I'm going to show you of what I do. I only have an hour. I'm going to try to get this all done before an hour, and this is what we're going to do today. All right, so I'm using Betty Crocker, and next time I do this, I'll have a board here. Oh, speaking of here, do you guys like what I did with my set? Isn't it nice? Do you like, oh, FYI, I'm not going to see whatever you write until like later because I'm looking, I have an iPad here to look at what you guys, whatever you write me. So don't you like what I did? Isn't it nice? I made a little shelf. I added my signature drips. I've always had this sign here. But next time what I'll do is I'll have like a little thing here so I can write the ingredients as we go because I know people are going to ask me like, oh, what is she using? Or what is this? And what's the amount of that? So that way, as we go along, we can put it here. FYI, I have not made this before, but I've made some of this before. So we may get it, we may not get it. All right, so I'm going to do this Betty Crocker Super Moist Butter Pecan Cake Mix. And we're going to doctor this up a little bit. And then we're going to make a buttercream, my buttercream that I make, buttercream / whipped cream for the top of it. And then we're going to make some candied pecans. So if you never did candied pecans, oh, Jesus, they're so good. They're so good. They're great just to make and put in a bowl and then like, you know, or give them away for Christmas gifts and stuff like that. You know those popcorn cone plastic bags that people use for popcorn? Like you can put the pecans in there and they're like oven roasted. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. Oven roasted. Oh, looks good. Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay, so I have an hour. Okay, so let's get started because I have no time to spare. Oh my God, and did I say I only have 2 eggs because we haven't gone grocery shopping yet. You guys ready for Thanksgiving? I'm super ready for Thanksgiving. I'm hungry. Do you ever notice like it's like, why do you wait till Thanksgiving to make like a giant meal like this? You might as well. This piece of hair is going to drive me nuts. Make the giant meal like throughout the year, but we're not going to even have a giant meal. We're going to do something like really simple and petite because it's just me, my man, and our 2 kids. This year, we're not going nowhere. We ain't going to see nobody. We're just going to chill at home. That's what we wanted because Christmas is going to be chaotic for us. All right, so I only have 2 eggs. I didn't go to the grocery store, and I'm like... We're going to make this work. I mean, I've baked the box mix before with just 2 eggs, so, you know, let's see. I know there's substitutions, but I don't want to use the substitution. All right, so I have box mix, yes. First priority. And if you guys have any questions, just, you know, roll them out, ask them. Oh, that beeping, if you want to know, that's the oven. I already got it on 350. I'm way ahead of you already. Look at that. If you guys joined me live last time, we made a pineapple upside down bundt cake. And that bad boy was bomb.com. And I have to make 3 more today. I haven't even started, and I still only have 2 eggs. Isn't that wonderful? And if you don't know who I am, I'm Jelena. I talk really fast. Hi. I'm from More Cake, yes, my badass edible art, and I make all different types of art. You can check out my work on my Instagram. And I'm starting a new thing where I call Bake It With Me, so we can come on live on Instagram once in a while and just bake, you know, some goodies that you can do for the holidays or for whatever, someone's birthday, you know, I don't know, whatever. So if, again, you want to know what I'm using the Super Moist Butter Pecan Cake Mix from Betty Crocker. Okay? No Duncan Hines. They're going through some issues right now. And, ooh, and this one says there's pudding in the mix. Nice. So to make it nice and dense. If you don't know that, when you add pudding to a cake mix, it'll make it dense. So this says we need 1 cup of water. Look at that. I already got the water. Guys, I'm like a real baking show. I already got my water. Next time I'll have like clear bowls and stuff like that. I'll be like legit. A half a cup of oil. Okie dokie. Half a cup. Boom. You've bought nothing. Oh, Lord, child. Me neither. I ain't buying nothing. All we got is like this meat that we're going to have. And then we have mashed potatoes, like a bag of mashed potatoes, because I'm too lazy. Ain't nobody got time to be mashing and boiling mashed potatoes. So, but it's really good Idaho mashed potatoes, like that comes in a bag. And then we have, that's about it. Everything else I have to go buy and stuff. So, okay, so I put the water, what else I put? Oil and the mix. Now I'm going to add my 2 eggs. But the mix asks for 3 eggs. Well, we're going to pretend like I got 3 eggs, okay? You don't tell nobody. Alright. Yes. Okay, let me give you a baking tip. Yes, you should put it in here. Let me act like I know what I'm doing. Put it in a separate container when you crack your eggs so that way you don't get any shell in your mix. Blah, blah, blah. Also, wash your eggs. That is a must all the time. Wash them with warm water. Make sure you wash them, not just rinse, put them under water. No, no, no. You got to rub them because there's like a bunch of crap on these eggs. And you don't want that crap to get in your mix. And legit, when I say crap, I mean crap. All right? Boom. So I got my 2 eggs. I'm going to dunk those in. Nothing special to see here. They're just 2 eggs. All right, so that's it. And now I'm going to mix. I'm going to hand mix this because it's super simple. It's just the cake mix. It's nothing too crazy. But then also, I'm going to do something fun. I'm actually going to add a little bit of this. And this is Hazelnut natural and artificial coffee creamer. I'm going to add this, and we're going to add this to the buttercream later. So, ooh, that smells interesting. Interesting in a good way, not in a bad way. I smell the butter. That's what I'm smelling. It smells good. Listen, I know some of you out there love making from scratch. You know, grandma taught you, yada, yada, yada. You grew up in the South. I grew up in the South, too. My grandma taught me how to make cakes from scratch, pecan pies, and sweet potato pies. Child, she taught me how to make the best sweet potato pie. All right? Oh, this smells good. But what my daddy taught me is to make sure I know how to make money. So if I have to do shortcuts, good, smart, intelligent shortcuts to make that money, to make sure you do that. Which means I don't spend as much money on my cake mix and batter as the majority of you may. All right, so this is 2 ounces. Is this going to be too much? I don't know. So hopefully somebody's keeping track of this ingredient list that I'm doing here. So we're going to try a little bit. Okay, I don't want to put too much because this is already very flavorful. But I want to see how this is going to complement the buttercream we're going to put on. Buttercream / whipped cream. So I'm just mixing it. It mixed really well, too. It's not like the other cake mixes, like the vanilla one that always has like those lumps in them, or the chocolate where the powder is always still lumpy and you have to keep mixing. This actually creams up very well. Like it creamed very well. And it smells, my mouth is watering. I can't wait to try this. All right. We're going to try to make this like a regular thing that I do through the week. Come on, and I'll fake it with you guys. Well, I'll teach you guys some little things that I like to do in the kitchen. Because some of us are meant to be bakers. And that's amazing. That's an amazing artistry that I don't have the patience for. So if I can have somebody bake all my cakes for me, then that would be great. I would never have to freaking deal with it, right? Ooh, you know what? Oh, I don't have that either. So I don't have any parchment paper, but that's okay. Because I was thinking maybe I'll do a cake because I'm going to have too much batter. Yes, it seems like I'm talking to myself, but that's the only way I'm going to get through this. So I was going to use my like regular cupcakes, right? Regular cupcake wrappers. And then I remembered I gave away all of my cupcake pans because I was like, one, I'm not making no cupcakes. I only do cakes. And then I was like, if I do cupcakes, I've always used these cups, right? They call them, this is kind of a weird name, whatever. They call them nut cups, and they're for like little peanuts and stuff. Lord. Okay, so I'm using these, and you can find them really in any grocery store at the times, but the majority of the times I find them in the dollar store, and they hang on the end cap in like a little baggie. So I'm using these. These are the giant ones, and sometimes they can do the mini ones. And this actually saves me a lot because I don't have to have a pan for it, and I don't have to wash a pan. So that's always great. So I'll take these out. Are y'all laughing at me? Hold on. I forget I have to read what you guys are writing. Hold on. Let's see. I'm only making dressing, so I'll run to the store when I get off. Oh, you got the easy job. Only to make dressing, MJ? Like, for real? Hey, I'm late. What are we making? We are making, for all those that are coming in right now, make sure you first hit the airplane at the bottom of your screen. I don't know what Android's phone looks like, but for us Apple people, it's a, what did I just say? It was an airplane. So hit the airplane at the bottom of the screen and share this with your followers so that way they can come in and make my from scratch cupcakes. No, I'm kidding. We're making the super moist butter pecan mix from Betty Crocker. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything, because sometimes people ask me a question and then I don't be paying attention, and then we'll be, 45 minutes later and I'm like, oh shit, what was the answer to that? All right, so I got these little cups. Now with these things, they're a little tricky when you first use them. You want to make sure you be careful about how much you fill these in. You only ever want to fill it a third a cup away. So I use a 1/4 cup to pour in. That's 1/4, right? Yeah, that's 1/4. 1/4 cup to pour in. How many do I have here? I got a lot. Let me get a pan. All right. And if you are asking questions, wow, is this how she makes her cupcakes? Yes. This is how I make my cupcakes. I don't have to worry about these stupid little wrappers keeping their shape or being dented in. And the cute thing about these is I can always wrap like a little bow around the end of it, or glue like a little bow on it. That's what I like about these. And they stand straight up. I like uniformity. If these come in black, I'd love to get them, because then all of my cupcake wrappers will always be black. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to pour this into here. No. Okay. I'm going to try to do this really fast because, again, we only have an hour and I tend to talk a lot. Now you can use, your little ice cream scooper, which they don't really make anymore. I got one that I bought from Ross like years ago, right? Okay, so I'm going to toss it over there. And if anybody wants to know what I'm making, I'll pull it back out the garbage. No, don't worry. This isn't for a customer. I'm just torturing my family. It's just for us. You want to see how far I'm filling them up? I don't know if the light will show you. You can see through that. I don't know. I don't want to tip it because then you won't really see the actual how much I'm filling them up. But I'm filling them up about right here. Wherever you see that finger. That's how much I'm filling them up at. Hi, everybody who's joining in. Make sure you hit the air at the bottom, right? Because y'all didn't tell me I totally dropped the cup in here. Well, we'll just wipe that one off. Thanks for joining me. It helps to share this because I want to make sure I'm doing this and people actually like what I'm doing, because the last thing I want to do is be sitting here talking to myself and people are like, this is stupid. So, what's everybody making for Thanksgiving? Are you guys doing turkey? We never really do like the original like type of food that everybody has for Thanksgiving. I mean, my dad once in a while does, but normally we'll do like gumbo on Christmas or gumbo on Thanksgiving. Most likely we're gonna do gumbo on Christmas this year because my family's supposed to be coming up. Turkey, you know, I don't know about y'all, but my daddy's turkey always come out dry. Always come out dry. Dry. And we gotta tell him every year, Daddy, don't make turkey. You know, and he makes really good food, but don't make the turkey. For some reason, your turkey come out dry. You leave it in there too long. I don't know what he does to it. All I'm doing now is going back and just making sure I'm capping off the ones that don't look as filled. Oh, we had just the right amount of mix too. Because I want these to be a little high, but I want to be careful. Because when these rise, it sucks. It really does suck. Like rise above the cupcake wrapper liner. These aren't even cupcake liners. You know what I'm saying. You know what they are, but we're just going to call them cupcake wrappers because I'm not going to repeat that they're nut cups. Because that just makes me sound like a crazy person. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. I don't think I need this again. No. I'm just going to drop that in there. And then we'll just throw this little cup away. Perfect. I'm going to pop these in the oven. I see someone making... I'm making deviled eggs, only everything else is bought or cooked by someone else. See, Claire, you know what's up. Y'all know what's up. MJ and Claire, yeah. Listen, my man's going to cook food, but we're making a small little thing. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not spending all this money on a bunch of food that's going to sit in our fridge and we're going to eat every day. I don't want that. I don't want to do that. All right, so I'm going to tap this down just like I do when I make a cake. When I make a cake, I always tap my pan after filling it because you want to get all those little air bubbles out, right? Now, if this was a real professional situation going on here, I mean, I'm totally professional. But if this was like, we had the pro camera, and if my man wasn't over there doing his own thing, I'd make him hold the camera so you guys can see these cupcakes. But for now, I'm just going to come up so you can see that you see the batter is in there, right? And then when you tap them, you'll see all these little bubbles come out, okay? Next time, I'll have like an intern, a.k.a. my man. He can't hear me anyways. He got his headphones on. He'll come and hold the camera so he could be a little more like, oh, look what's going on. All right, going to the oven. Okie dokie. Those are in. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next thing. If you guys think like, oh, she's talking really fast and she's moving like the speed of light and what's wrong with her? Well, last time I did this, all I was doing was making a bun cake, but it took me freaking like 2 hours to do it because I kept stopping to talk to everybody. And I was like, oh, no. I got to be able to do this in an hour because I still got to take my son to his play date, right? Eventually, I'm going to get hungry for lunch. We still got to go to the stores. I want to do all that before people get off of work because people be crazy out here. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is candied pecans. Ooh, I'm missing questions. All right. So I'm doing a turkey. It's bringing now. Oh, your turkey's coming out? Okay. Also, oxtail, lobster, mac and cheese. Okay. Bev Z. Griff, I'm coming to your house. Okay, girl? Don't worry. I'll bring some super moist butter pecan cupcakes, and 2 children and a man who's starving. So I'll be at your house for Thanksgiving. Because what, you make a lobster, girl? Girl. Okay. Let's see. Perks of having a big extended family. Yeah, I know. I have such a giant family. But none of them live here in Georgia. Everybody lives in Florida. Let's see. It's on the brown. Ooh, that turkey sounds like it's going to be real good. MD. What's MD? Minnesota, Massachusetts, Maine. Maryland. MD is Maryland. I love Maryland. I'll be happy to come. You just tell everybody, hi, I'm Auntie Nina. How are you? All right, so we're going to do the pecans now. I have a lot of pecans if anybody wants some. I got these at Walmart. They're like, nuts are super expensive. I mean, they're hella expensive. You're never going to find a cheap nut anywhere. If you have children watching, maybe now's not the time for your children to be watching me. Okay, so I have, what do I have? My pecans. And they're actually halves, but I want to cut these up even more. Yeah, I don't want them so big, right? So we're going to have those. I have some melted butter. I have some dark brown sugar, and I'm going to go get a knife and a cutting board so we can cut this up and make them a little smaller. Ooh, let me do another thing. Just in case someone decides to call me, let me put this ringer off because nobody wants to talk to nobody. All right, I'm getting my cutting board. That has to be washed because I made breakfast this morning, so give me a second. Okay. Clean cutting board. Grabbing a knife. Boom. Look at that. Look at that quick speed. All right. So we're going to move this out the way for now because I don't want to make some room for myself. Good. Don't fall down. All right. Wipe this up. Good. Got one of those, like, you know, real inexpensive cutting boards from Ross. You know, Ross is the place to go sometimes when you need some kitchen utensils. The only thing I hate about it is it doesn't have, like, one of those things at the bottom, you know, so to stop moving, which is fine because sometimes I'll just use silicone or a wet napkin. Alrighty. So I got some pecans, and we are going to chop these up. And don't make this face while you make it. I'm just afraid that they're going to pop back out my face. Ooh, okay. I know it's like Wednesday in the middle of the day, and everybody's probably like, why? Why, Jelena? You got to get us on the weekend or in the evening. Listen, the weekend is my days to try to reflect on what the hell I got to do for the next week. In the evening, child, not this household in the evening. These kids will be running in circles before I put them to bed. Ooh, making a mess. Before I put them to bed, so and when they go to bed, guess who wants to go to bed? Me. I want to go to bed. I don't have the spirit in me to entertain. Okay, perfect. I think that's pretty good, right? So then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on the pan. Hello. I see people saying hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hello, everybody. If you're just joining and you don't know who I am, my name is Jelena. I am a faker baker, if that makes sense. It's easier on my life not to bake from scratch. Good. Okay. So now I have all the pecans here. They're all chopped up. You see that? Should I pull that screen down? They're all chopped up. Okay. Not perfectly, but they're kind of like, you know, roughly chopped up and stuff like that. So now I'm going to pour some butter on it very gently. I don't want like a whole mess of butter, but just a little bit, just to coat it. Right? Okay, perfect. Butter goes a long way, so just be careful. All right, so now I don't want to touch it yet because now I'm going to get my brown sugar. You know, me. Get my brown sugar and add that on top of here. You don't have to use brown sugar. You can use regular sugar. You don't have to use brown, but I like to taste the brown. I mean, who doesn't? I'll put some on here. And this is the dark brown. I like dark brown sugar. Yes, I'm a fan of the regular brown sugar, but the dark brown sugar tends to have much more flavor. All right, so now I have that here, and I'm just going to mix this all up, right? Because I don't want to have to put my hands on it. And what we're going to do with this, we're actually going to coat the top of our buttercream after we frosted our cupcakes with this. And yeah, you could have sprayed the pan, but it doesn't really matter because you have the butter on here that's going to make it nice and moist. Actually, I'm going to pour the rest of this. Yeah. Perfect. You know, when you're doing this, you don't... Ooh, I don't know why I didn't do that foil, just one long foil. That just was ridiculous of me. Okay, so I'm actually going to put more brown sugar. Because I want these to be like candy coated, you know? Candy girl, you're all my world. Okay, perfect. And this is kind of like how you, no, don't. I was going to say this is how you make brittle, but don't listen to me. I've never made brittle in a day in my life. Okay, perfect, perfect. Everything has brown sugar and butter, and my mouth is watering. Anybody else mouth watering? Because mine definitely is. Okay. So now you've done that. So here's our pecans. Beautiful, right? All right, so do me a favor. If all of you in here now, hit the arrow at the bottom, select all of your friends to come in so they can hear this ridiculous English accent that I do sometimes, and they can actually get some fun little tips on what they can actually make tonight for dessert if you guys missed my pineapple upside down cake. I'm going to go stick these in the oven. No, I'm going to wait because actually I want to put these at like 400 degrees. So we'll pop these to the side. Wash my hands. Get rid of the cutting board, the knife, all of this jazz, and then we're going to do the buttercream. Wash your hands, use soap. Now the buttercream. Okay. So I have whipping cream. I need another bowl. We'll use this one. We'll be just fine. All right. I don't need this foil. Perfect. Wipe up my area. You guys know this just like last time when I came on and I told you guys when, especially if you were born in the South, when you cook or whatever you're doing in the kitchen, make sure you clean up your area because to have clutter, a cluttered mind, it makes cluttered, you know, I don't know, just clean up after yourself. It's much more easier. All right, so I'm going to do something different I've never done before. We're going to try this out. I'm going to make my buttercream, but I'm going to add something to it. Add several things to it, actually. Several things to it. All right. So I have the mixer here. I'm going to just leave it there, but I will bring the pan over. I got water. Yeah. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I just have heavy whipping cream. Okay, so this is what I want to do. This is my thoughts. I make a buttercream all the time, and it's normal. It's always fluffy and delicious, but this time because I'm having the what are we making again? I'm having the super moist butter pecan mix. I felt like that was going to be a lot of flavor, and then and kind of dense, especially because there's pudding in this, right? It's going to be dense cake. And then I'm going to top the buttercream off with the pecans, the candied pecans, right? So all of that heaviness, I wanted something light and fluffy. And I wanted to do a whipped cream and add that to my buttercream and see what happens. So this is like, who knows if this is going to work? I don't know. Just like my cupcakes, I have no idea if what's going to happen to them beans that I, you know, only had 2 eggs. So I'm using this attachment, the whisk one, and I have a KitchenAid, that's what I'm going to use, but you can just use a hand mixer if you want to, which I actually prefer to use a hand mixer because things are much easier. Don't ask me how many, I don't know, what was that? A little over a third of a cup. So I'm actually going to pour more. So that looks about almost a cup. Alright, so I'm going to plug this in. I want to keep it rolling. Okay, so So if you've never made whipping cream before, let me give you some directions because this is going to be a little bit loud. All you have to do is add heavy whipping cream and let your hand stand mixer just keep mixing it, mixing it, mixing it, mixing it, mixing it till it becomes nice and fluffy peaks and everything like that, where it's actually like whipped cream, like Cool's Whip. That's the consistency we're looking for. So I'll stop when we get to around that part so you can see, all right, just so you know, like, oh, this is what it's supposed to look like. And now I'm just going to get rid of whatever I don't need around here. Don't need this. Don't need this. Done. Okay. What's in the bowl? It's heavy whipping cream. And this one's empty. We're going to make buttercream, so make sure you write down my recipe for buttercream because it's really delicious. All right. It's going to take a while, but I'm actually going to pull you guys forward so you can see what's happening in the bowl. All right, so now if you notice, it's gotten a little bit thicker. And that's because the more you whip it, the more it becomes whipped cream. That's why it's called whipped cream. So it's becoming thicker. And I have this at this speed right here. Look at it. So that's about a 4-speed. Okay. Perfect. I should have made a timer to know that, oh, you're 30 minutes in and you only got 30 minutes left. Because in an hour, this thing is just going to cut off on me. And I hate that, that feeling of thinking that it's just going to cut off. Putting you back on. I'm going to pull you guys down a little bit more so you can see more of the table. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So what it looks like now is it looks like ice cream that's just about melted. That's what this looks like. So you want to keep stirring and stirring and stirring. Trust me, I know it's going to take quite some time and you're going, oh, God. Is it even right? Am I doing this right? Trust me, you're doing it right, okay? I sped it up because ain't nobody got time for this. It's getting much thicker. Here, I'll show you. I'm gonna flip the screen around. So, if you think that this is the consistency, watch what happens when I pull up. Okay. So that is not the consistency. You see how low that is? We need it to be able to pick up peaks. We need peaks. So, just like if you were making a meringue. Hold on, I'm trying to take this off. 1 second, don't worry, 1 second. All right, let's see. All right, so we're looking for semi-stiff peaks, and we got some peaks, but they're not really stiff because they're not keeping their shape. If you notice, the peaks keeps falling down. So I want to keep mixing this more. So let me put you back over here, so that way. Oh, you got a glimpse of my little turkey neck there. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back on here. We're going to mix it a little bit more. I have it at a 6 now. You see how here it looking like cottage cheese? Where it's like all come together and it's literally come out the bowl and stayed onto here. That is the consistency we want. Right? Now we have whipping cream. Okay? Now we have whipping cream. So I'm going to actually take this and put it in a separate bowl, and we're going to make buttercream out of this one. Now, if you're asking yourself, what's crazy Jelena doing? What is she making over there, her crazy self? She's so silly. I'm going to make buttercream, but I'm going to add this whipping cream to it, which I've never done before, so I don't know that consistency. If you've made buttercream before and added whipping cream to it, let me know. So I'm going to put this in here. Ooh, I can probably show you guys next time how I make a whipped cream cup with like pudding in it and stuff. It's really simple. Okay. Alright, so this is the part that you definitely want to take down notes. And on this part, you don't want to ask me measurements because I don't go by measurements. I go by taste and I go by texture. You know, because I'm a real baker. Not really. I'm kidding. Okay, so I have here, it's called Great Value Shortening. It's from Walmart. They actually don't look like this anymore, and they don't sell this anymore. They sell them differently, and I think it's maybe a lighter blue or a green container, I think what it is. But you want to find a shortening, any shortening that would do, that is high fat contents, and that's how you make an American crusted buttercream. If you don't know what American crusted buttercream is, basically an American crusted buttercream is, think about the buttercream that Publix puts on their cakes, or Kroger's, or Sam's Club, or Kroger's, that they put on their, I think I said Kroger's already, I meant to say Costco, that they put on their cupcakes. And if you ever notice, the buttercream is stiff, and if you touch it, it feels like it's a little crusted, like maybe it's been sitting there for days or something, but it hasn't. It's an American crusted buttercream, which gives it a longer shelf life. And it gets nice and stiff, which makes it easier for sharp edges on your cakes. You know, if you want to do like flowers, it has a thick consistency. All right, so I love this, and I'm hoping the new one that they have, because I've run out of these, is going to give me the same texture and flavor that I'm looking for. Now, you see how I can push this in because it's nice and smooth, right? So I'm going to pour some of this in here. And all this is fat. That's all this is. And I don't want to hear nobody saying, well, that's gross, because y'all be eating tubs of butter. Trust me, they be the same. All right, so I don't need a lot because I only have, what was that, 12 cupcakes? I think this is going to be good. We're going to work with that. Measurement, 12 scoops. 3 scoops using a spatula. There's your measurement. Again, you want a high ratio shortening that you want to use. I don't use Crisco if anybody's going to ask that question, because I always get asked that question. The next thing I'm going to do, oh, I need a spoon, is actually, when I make my orders, I actually never add real butter to it. Because real butter is just another ingredient that I have to go out and purchase and add to my customer's bill, and I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to do that. I just want to make the most simplest buttercream that's going to be nice and flavorful and get the job done. That's what I want, right? I never claimed I was a baker. I just bake, but I'm not a baker. So we're going to add some butter. And this is Country Crock. This is the same type of butter I use to rub butter on my toast. So that was what, 2 spoonfuls? So I actually started adding butter 2 weeks ago, and the flavor came out really amazing. So I like that. So I just added, what, three giant scoops of a regular spoon. Yes. Okay. Oh, child, I need powdered sugar. So I'm going to get some powdered sugar in here. Sugar, where are you? Oh, up here. Okay. Whew, I got nervous for a second. Child, like I got real nervous. I was like, oh no, we ain't got no powdered sugar. I got like 7 bags. All right, so now I got powdered sugar. Juliana, Are you going to sift your powdered sugar? No. Why? Because that's time, and time is money, and I don't got time. Plus, we probably got less than 30 minutes here. Probably like we're on 20 minutes left. So this is 1/3 of a cup, and I'm going to put in so far. That's 2. I'm trying to give you our measurements, but I told you I go by taste and I go by texture. So what was that? 4. Okay, perfect. Okay. So far we put in here shortening, butter, and powdered sugar. Right? And now you can use water for liquid if you want to, which is an inexpensive way, which is fine. It's fine. You're not even going to taste the water. It's fine. You just need some sort of liquid to get it all to mix together. But what we're going to use is actually milk. Oh, but I'm going to grab the milk that I have. And then I'll tell you guys which milk I actually like to use. So I'm not going to use this milk because there's like not a lot in here. But the milk I like to use is an almond vanilla milk, which my kids drink. And I don't have any of that because that's one of the things on the grocery list I have to buy. I literally grabbed whatever I had in my kitchen and we're putting it all together. I'm going to add water because that's the cheapest, least expensive thing that you have. And you can always use that. So I'm going to use water, and I'm going to use the Hazelnut natural artificially flavored coffee creamer that I have here. Also, and I want to use some vanilla extract. You see this vanilla extract? Okay. This is by CK Products. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just a basic vanilla extract. It's an artificial one. It's not my thing, but right now, the way vanilla be acting towards us bakers, it's like it hates us and doesn't want us to use them because they cost too much money. The one that I normally use is this one. It's a Nielsen Macy Madagascar Bourbon Vanilla Extract. This little freaking bottle that is only 8 ounces. That's a bottle I would give my daughter to go to sleep for milk. 8-ounce bottle. This thing cost me $42. Okay? And they don't freaking sell it at the market I shop at anymore. So now I have this piece of shiz vanilla extract, and because of this, it made me want to doctor up my mixes even more because this barely brings any flavor. So just an FYI. And no, I don't want to go to Publix and get theirs. I don't like theirs either. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of water, but you want to be careful the amount that you add. You just, small amount. Because what happens if you add too much, it'll be muddy, right? We don't want to add too much and be muddy. So I'm adding, what was that? About a tablespoon. Yeah, that's about a tablespoon. See the way that I bake? I bake like I cook. I'm like salt, pepper. There's no measurements here. I'm going to add some of this extract, vanilla extract. When I say it's horrible, it's not like horrible, but it's not my favorite. Let me clear that up. Just in case one day CK Products wants to sponsor me. They're wonderful. Alright, so add a little bit of that. I'm just going to use the same paddle attachment because, you know, doesn't matter. Well, this whisk, that's what matters. The fact that I've mixed it in, that doesn't matter. Alright, so I'm going to let that mix in. Plug it in first. Alright, it's plugged in. Don't worry, I got my shit together. I got this. So this is called Powdered Sugar Cloud. There it goes. Hey, Ken. Ken. Oh. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you hold this iPad? Nope. Can you hold this cell phone so that way everybody can see what I'm doing here in this bowl? Can you say something like so people don't think I'm talking to myself? Great, thanks. Appreciate that. So just move this light over to that side. No, you're going to take the entire thing off. I'm trying. Okay, here, babe. Don't put your finger down here because that, or on this side because that's where the camera is. And come over here. There we go. It's okay. He's a little shy, guys. You don't have to get out the way. There we go. Okay, perfect. Plug this in. Plug it in. Great. And now we're going to turn it on. So you see that, how it creamed all together? Now, this is beautiful, but that's too creamy. Like, I need it a little more thicker because remember, we're making American crusted buttercream. The more powdered sugar, the better. And for all those that are asking, like, oh, why don't you sift your powdered sugar because it won't be so lumpy? I don't know if you guys noticed, there's no powdered sugar lumps in here. The more flavor of extract or whatever liquid you add, the better, because that will dissolve your powdered sugar lumps. And you just keep mixing. There's really no way that you can screw this up. All right, you're gonna have to back up a little bit. It's gonna pop. There it goes. All right, are you in there? Can you see it? Okay. Are you not gonna say anything? At some point you can point it at me. Hi. I have no idea. If anybody's asking a question, can you read it or saying anything? So now we're gonna add some of this hazelnut in here. It goes, never mind. I'm not even gonna bring that up. All right, so I'm pouring some in. Now, if you notice, it's wet again, and I'm gonna add more powdered sugar. Now, pre-warning, if this cuts off, because you know, I'm chasing the clock now. If this cuts off, don't worry. I'll come back on and show you guys what the cupcakes look like, and we'll frost them all together, and then add the pecans on top of it. Turning it back on. What else? I added that. Oh, this is this, but we don't need this anymore. Why is it so white? Does it look that white on the screen? You can see it clearly? Okay. All right. So for those who've never used a mixer before, or even if you were hand mixing this, make sure you wipe down your sides here, right? You see all that powdered sugar that gets here? All of this is ingredients. Make sure you wipe it down. So now we're actually going to taste this and see, not using that one, that's for sure. That's going to taste like butter. I'm going to taste this and we're going to see what it tastes like because I want to make sure I get like a good hazelnut. That's really good.
Betty Black Bacon. What are we making, Jelena?
We are making, see, I told you there was somebody there. We are making, what did I do with that box there? Y'all see me throw it in the garbage? There, it's there. We are making, this is called Fake It With Me. We're making a super moist butter pecan, and this actually has pudding in it, and this is Betty Crocker's box mix. Faking It With Me is where I come on and I pretend like I know how to bake, but I don't, not really, right? Here, taste it.
That's good.
It's good, right? Okay. So, now I'm going to mix this a little bit more. Oh, and FYI, when you scrape the bowl, here's a little tip. When you, what are you pointing at?
Engagement group says, where is your bakery located today?
It's in, you could back up so they could see. This is here in my own little studio in Georgia. This is my dining room that I've turned into my own studio. But here's a little tip. When you scrape your sides, don't go like this and scrape your spatula on the bowl, right? Scrape your sides and then scrape your spatula on the scraper or whatever spatula you're using here. So that way all of that goes back in the bowl. Okay. Good. I just want a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, that should be fine. Good. Perfect. Okay. So now I have that, which looks amazing. It looks really good. But remember, then I have this, right? So I want to add this, the whipping cream that we did, to this here, the buttercream that I just made. Get rid of this. I'm making room for myself because you know how I don't like to work in a mess. The only thing that I want to mess is my brain, which obviously you guys can see how that works. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of the buttercream to the whipping, mix it a little bit, and then add the rest to mix it all up. The reason why is because I'm trying to get this to be a little more lighter. Maybe I should have made more whipping cream because that's a lot of buttercream, but whatever. Like I said, we're going to see how this works out. Ooh, I should have put a thing under there. Oh, look at all this powdered sugar. All right. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, the cake smells really good. It does smell really good. I'm just cleaning up my area because I don't like looking at messy crap everywhere. Okay. Put that over there. Go. All right. So I'm going to take, I don't need this. All right. Back up a little bit. What are you seeing? I wish I could see what you're seeing. What do you see? Do you see me? Well, don't forget my head. Make sure you get my pretty face here. This is the money maker. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit of this. Ooh, look how smooth that is. Isn't that smooth? Look at that fluff. Look at that fluff. I love it. Love it. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit of this. This is heavy. This is whipping cream. It's light. Add a little bit in here. And we're going to do like a macaroon. We're going to mix it. Oh, yeah, I thought I didn't know about macaroons. I used to make macaroons when I started. They were more like shriveled up cookies, but I knew what I was doing. All right, so I'm just lightly mixing that in just so it doesn't deflate, because if I would take all of this and mix it in with the whipping cream will just fall apart, right? See, I told you I know what I'm saying. I know what I be talking about. So I took a little bit at a time to incorporate it, so that way it stays nice and fluffy. So when I add the remaining, it'll all incorporate together. Can you guys see that? Can they see that? Good. Can you guys see that? How's that going? Is my man doing a good job at holding the phone? Maybe we'll make this a regular job for him. Yes? He's not saying nothing. All right. Nice. Interesting. Mind you, this is the first time I've ever done this before. So it's not as smooth as it once before was. It kind of looks like cottage cheese. But we're going to try this out and see what it tastes like. Much more fluffier. You want to taste it? Fluffy, right? Like soft. It's like eating a cloud. It's very soft. So you can always just put this on your cupcakes, which is fine. Right? But I wanted something to be a little more softer because remember the pecans are going on top, so that's kind of thick. The cake is already going to be thick. So now I'm going to mix all this together. I'm going to put this in that bowl because I like a bowl with a handle. So it actually does do what I was expecting. So today we were just testing out. If you didn't notice, there was some things we were doing that I didn't know if it was going to work because I've actually never did it before. So adding whipped cream to my buttercream was a go. And now I'm just going to hand mix all this in. Oh, child. I'm tired. I need an assistant. My arms hurt. If I can just get somebody to come, you know, I'll do all the talking. They can do all this baking stuff. All right, cool. All right, so it's still nice and fluffy. It's still nice and smooth. You guys see that? You see that smoothness? Looks great. All right, so I'm going to actually put this to the side to get ready to frost on the cupcakes. But I want to make sure it stays nice and warm in here. With these lights on and the oven on, it's hot and I'm sweating. So let me clean out my area. How are we doing? I don't know. How long have I been on? I'm nervous that it's going to just like cut off. All right. So does anybody have any questions so far? Because what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go off. So that way, if anybody comes and watches the replay, you got how to incorporate all of the things we just did. And then the next segment, I'm going to come on and actually put the cupcake together. And then we'll try it and see if I made a disaster or if it was a win. So if you guys have any questions, just, you know, ask them here. And then I can always come back on later and answer them. But I'll be back in a good, like, 15 minutes. So don't go nowhere. I'll be back in 15 minutes. Y'all better come back in 15 minutes. Okay, bye. I got a little helper now. Alrighty. So, to Faking It with me, and we are making a mess. I am Jelena from More Cake Yes Ma'am Badass Edible Art, and I like to come on every once in a while and give you guys some pro tips about how to be a pro. I'm winking the wrong eye. How to be a pro at baking without having to do too much, which is basically why I call it faking with baking. Faking with me because we're not really, baking from scratch or anything like that, but we're doctoring up some box mix and making some good stuff. So everything's done. The cupcakes are baked, and they smell delicious. The pecans have been candied, and they're nice and warm too. So I need to be careful because I want to make sure I don't put them on the buttercream or it's going to melt the buttercream. And my helper here is Kalina. This is my 1-year-old daughter. Say hello. Say hi. She thinks this is just hilarious. Let me make sure I turn my iPad on so that way if you guys have questions, I can see it here because you guys are a little bit far away and I'm a little old and I can't really see that good. Let me not blame it on my old age. I just have bad eyesight. Let's just say that. Okay. Good. All right. So we are going to... I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm on the wrong live. How do I get on? I want to see me going live, but how do I do that? Oh, let's just do this. There it goes. Found me. All right, and the buttercream has been made, right? So, and the buttercream is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely. The only thing that is a downfall for me is that the texture is kind of like cottage cheese, but that's because of the whipping cream. And so let me see if I can just whip this a little bit. Yeah. I'm not going to struggle with it. I'm not going to struggle with it. I'm not going to struggle with it because at the end of the day, I'm just eating this, so I'm not even going to struggle with it. I think if I whipped it some more, it'll come, no, not think. I know if I whipped it some more, it'll come together. But that means I have to go grab the mixer, bring it over here, make sure the baby doesn't fall down off the table. We gotta keep this thing rolling because once you finish this cupcake, she may start screaming. So let's get this together. All right, so we're gonna start piping on our cupcakes. You're gonna need a giant tall cup. You're going to need your preferred piping tip. And you're going to need a piping bag. This is a 16-inch piping bag. Yes, Wilton makes it. If you don't know who Wilton is, go Wilton.com. No, they do not sponsor me. But Wilton, if you're there, you can totally sponsor me. Which they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They only sponsor their own teachers, which I used to be one of their teachers. I didn't like it. All right, so I put the piping tip in the bag. And if you're wondering, why in the world would Jelena call it faking with me? Well, this is why. If you missed the first segment of this. Oh, sorry, baby. I'm all like swinging stuff around. The reason why I call it faking with me is because I never claimed to be a baker. I'm just good at being an artist as far as decorating and painting and hand sculpting and all those things. And the baking, I don't want to do it. It's too technical. It's not fast enough. I talk fast. I move fast. I want to get things done. So I like to cut corners where it's a smart, first of all, financial corner and a time-saving corner. So if that means I have to use a box mix and then just doctor it up, great. Because I don't have time to peel oranges to get the lemon zest off an orange. I don't got time for that. If I can find a lemon zest orange extract out there, I'm going to do that, right? It makes things a lot more easier and faster for me, and it's much more financially better, especially because I want to make sure I keep all my monies in my pocket, especially any money that my customer wants to give me. See, I have things to teach you. I have things to teach you. It may not just be about baking. So if you're just joining for the first time, or if you've been here before, you know how I like you guys to share what's going on here because sharing is caring. So just go right ahead and yes, we are. What happened? Are you telling them? She's telling you to hit that, I always say helicopter. No, Papa not here. Mama. Mama. Rude. Hit that airplane down at the bottom of your screen and share it with all your followers, even the ones who may not even bake because, hey. Because even they may want to come and get some of these, pro tips. I keep winking. I hope you guys understand why I'm winking. All right, so I put the piping tip in the piping bag, and I pushed it all the way down. And now I'm going to just cut around it, but you want to be careful where you cut because you don't want to cut too low where your covering up the whole of the piping tip, and you don't want to cut too high where the bag is just going to fall right off. Hi. Say hi. Say bonjour. Bonjour, je m'appelle Kalina. Say hello, my name is Kalina. Okay. And now I just twist the bag a little bit at the end so that way there's like a little twist tie there. And I put this in. She's so cute. Oh, thank you, Buttercream Pea. Buttercream Pea, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm just going to push the bag down. And this is for all those who's never filled a piping bag before. This is a simple way to do it. And now I'm just going to fold the bottom half of that piping bag over. And now I can fill it in with all of God's goodness. And if you missed me making this buttercream or these candied pecans or these delicious cupcakes, because I've already tried one, then go ahead and make sure you watch the first segment after you finish watching this one. Again, I wish I would just had mixed this a little bit more so that way it can be more appropriate because it's looking like cottage cheese now, but I promise you it tastes delicious. And I, quite frankly, could care less about the texture, means that she's just going to eat it, and then when her brother gets home, he's just going to eat it. Alrighty. So I have a little tester here. My tester cupcake is, you know, one that doesn't look so fancy and the edges don't look so great, but we're going to use it, and I'm going to get this out her way. There we go. Okay. I don't know how this is going to pipe. I haven't piped with it yet. And I made sure I cooled down my cupcakes because they were really warm, so I put them in the freezer really quickly just to cool them down. What happened? Yeah? You want some? You want to try it? Here. You eat it. Mange, mange. Mmm. She thinks I'm an idiot. Okay. So we're just going to pipe a little bit on here. Okay. It looks okay. This isn't my normal piping tip, but we're going to use this anyways. See, it's a little too wiggly. It's a little too watered down. I think I'm going to have to add some more powdered sugar and just whip it. Ooh, cupcake going in. Cupcake. And that cupcake, right here, crunchy, candy coated edges, it's kind of good. Alright. I'm just going to pour this back here. I'm going to add more powdered sugar, and we're going to remix this. Because the last thing I want to happen is for what was just happening, where the buttercream is just kind of like sliding off the top. I don't want that to happen. So let me get all this out the way. It is good. I was going to save the tasting for last, but, you know, stuff happens. Not for you. For me. Okay, let me go grab the mixer. You've just made a mess. Watch her, make sure she doesn't fall down, okay? I'm kidding. I'm right here. Don't worry. I'm right here. Plug this in. Plug this in. Got my powdered sugar. Let's scoot you. You're kind of heavy. Scoot you over. No. Don't touch that. Okay. Isn't she just freaking adorable? You are. You're just adorable. Okay. So now I have my buttercream. Now what I mean when I say it looks like cottage cheese, it literally looks like the texture of cottage cheese. And I don't want that. Mind you, if you guys watched the first segment, you would have heard me tell you that this is the first time I added whipping cream to this. So, I didn't know how it was going to react. But now I'm going to add... Where's my... Oh, it's over there in the bowl. I'm adding some more powdered sugar. And now I'm going to go get... No, stop looking at this. I feel like you're going to grab it. The mixing... Okay. And we're just going to mix that up so that way the texture can become nice and smooth again. If you ever make buttercream and your buttercream is too wet, add more powdered sugar. If your buttercream is too thick, add a little more liquid. If you want to cut the sweetness of your buttercream, add a little bit of salt to it. That helps. Oh, see, now it's coming together where it's actually looking like a spreadable butter. That's what it's looking like. Me likey. I'd bring you guys closer, but I can't hold baby, do this, and hold you guys at the same time. Priorities, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to mix this around by hand. Okay, see now, you see that? Much better. Much, much better. And it's still fluffy. So that didn't ruin the fluffiness that we were looking for. I'm going to make sure I unplug this because I don't want her to touch it. And then like mix her hand up in it. Perfect. So, waste not. Hey, you guys are kind of crooked. I don't want to waste anything. And if you're also wondering, why does she have her daughter there? Oh God, I don't watch Instagram for kids. Well, guess what? I'm a mom. I work from home. My babies are with me 24/7. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with. So I'm sorry and hashtag not sorry. This is the life of a working mother. Because I get a lot of questions of how do you do it? You have 2 kids and they're close to age and, you know, then you're able to travel and do all this other stuff. One, I have a good support team, meaning my man, he supports me very well. I have a good friend who supports me, and my parents support me a lot also. So when I need them, I'm constantly like, great, I need you guys. But the majority of the time I travel with them. Just like this weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, I have a class that I'm teaching in Florida. And guess who's coming with me? This little girl and my son. Yes, they can stay here with their dad and, you know, hang out with him for the weekend. But I'm a working mom and I'm a mom. So I can't tell people, I don't like feeling like I tell people I'm a stay-at-home mom and I teach, you know, I teach my kids from home and I'm with them all the time if I'm not with them all the time. And I raise my children than anybody else. Even though their father is an amazing dad. Hello. Okay. I'll wipe that off. Let me get a cupcake. All right, this is the wrong tip, but I can't find the one I want. Excuse me. Here, you want to eat something? Eat that one. Well, what I was saying is waste not, want not, because I just used the same bag from before. All right, so that was like, this was sloppy as all. Let's do something silly like swirls back and forth. That's cute. It doesn't really matter because we want to top these with some pecans. You want some? You want to help mommy? No? You want mommy to do it for you? Yeah, yours is pretty. Here you go. Kalina. She's just like a deer in headlights. Like, what should I do with this cupcake, Mom? Okay. Yeah, I think I like it high like that. Yep. Perfect. They look so good. They look so good. All right, so now my pecans. When I say it, my mouth waters, and they're so good. You can't have these. You only have 4 teeth. I'm sorry. Let me tell you. Remember how I told you that these are called nut cups? Which was in the other segment? No. You can have it. Oh, you can have this little one. These are perfect to put in those triangle cone bags, right, as gifts. Put them in there, put a cute little bow. Easy. If you missed how I made these, go to the other segment from before. Also, if you think my daughter's adorable, look, sell your face. There you go. Hi. Hi. If you think my daughter's adorable, hit that airplane at the bottom, so then you could share this, and so other people can see how adorable my daughter is. Leave it alone. Here. Wait, I'm trying to find you a tiny one. I'm trying to find you a tiny one. You like them? So I candied these pecans, and when you candy pecans, any nuts, it actually becomes softer. And you put them in the oven roasted candy pecans. And these are good. They're good by themselves, and they're warm still, but not too warm, so I can top them off on our cupcakes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something a little fancy here. Pull these a little closer. All right, here. Jesus, she's like her mother, Mandy. I'm not going anywhere. All right. So now I'm going to top off our cupcakes with them. See, they like become all stuck together. They're really good. They're delicious. Nope. This is yours. You eat yours. These belong to mommy. Okay. All right, little tiny one. If you haven't noticed, she's a little ambitious, and she asks for too much. These are good. These are perfect. Look how perfect that is for Thanksgiving. They're so good. I don't want to mess these up because I think I need to take a photo of them, so I'm going to put these to the side, and I'm actually going to eat that one. You don't mind, do you? Okay. You like these, huh? They're good. It's just brown sugar, pecans that I've chopped up, and butter. And you can really do that with any nuts out there. Walnuts, pecans, peanuts, any nuts. That's how you could do them. So I'm actually going to frost this one a little bit more because I like the frosting high. Yep. And then we're going to add some pecans onto this. Really pretty. Okay. Just say, Mommy, can I have some, please? You know, because you know how to talk. Yeah. See? He likes them. So when I'm sitting here telling you guys, or I don't bake from scratch. I use a box mix. And people always go, oh, a box mix? I bake everything from scratch. Well, good for you. But see here, box mix is just fine. And everybody who says they only bake from scratch because that's the best way, be the same people who eat at McDonald's. So don't believe the hype. You have to just do what's best for you. Here you go, babe. All right, we're going to eat this. I need a knife. Can you go in the kitchen and get me a knife? Okay, Mommy will get a knife herself. Here. You know, I brought you on to be my little helper. I don't know what kind of help you're being. All right. I have a knife next to a 1-year-old. You know, because I'm a genius. All right, we're going to cut this in half. Ooh, I'm going to bring you guys closer too. I'm going to take the knife with me. Bring you guys closer so you can see what's going on. There we go. Hello. If you guys missed the first segment, I made these pecan, what did I make? These pecan cupcakes. I added hazelnut to it. And we did this buttercream, and we made these candied pecans. And now we put it all together in this segment, and now I'm gonna cut it in half, and we're gonna try it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to cut it in half. This may be a disaster. I have scissors. Kitchen scissors. There we go. Cut it in half. Boom. you guys can see. Ooh, look at that cake. I'm excited. I'm excited. I just want to pull it out, but it's all like coming in my hand. And now I'm just going to eat it. Oh, a lot. Yes. Thank you. It's really good. It's really good. I like the cake. I've never had their cake before, the pecan one. Oh, it's from Mommy. And the pecans on top of it, the candy pecans on top of it, are really good. This bomb, girl. So if anybody asks you, you made this thing from scratch, okay? Are you gonna save anything for me? She really likes it. All right, so that's it for baking it with me today. Next time, I haven't decided what I'm gonna make, but don't miss it because I have 3 options. Okay, I'm here. You don't wanna miss it. I have 3 options, and we're gonna be probably either doing a chocolate cake, a French recipe chocolate cake, and my man will be joining. It's a recipe I learned from his mother. Or what were the other 2 ideas? I can't think of them right now. But we have, okay, we have options. So make sure you guys tune in next time. I don't know what day it's going to be. The only reason I came in on a Wednesday was because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So I want all of you to have a happy, safe, and thankful Thanksgiving. And eat well. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Here, you can have this. You want that? Here, you can eat it. Is it good? Say bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for joining.